What's up, gamers? Thanks for joining me for episode 2 of the Independence High podcast. I'm surprised we made it this far. Thanks for the support, everybody. I'm gonna get through all this fast because we have a pretty long episode already because of the interview. So let's go right into the news. So there's a Unity workshop at the SJSU Student Union in room 2B. It's a Unity workshop, so you're going to improve your study skills with a bunch of tutors there and staff members. There's going to be free food. It's November 2nd at 1 p.m. And if you want more information, go check out School Loop. There's going to be college nights at the big gym where you get to learn a lot about colleges. There's a lot of college presentation boards there, and there are representatives there to tell you about the colleges. They give out pamphlets and pencils and pens and free stuff like that. It's really cool. I went there 2 years in a row now. I don't think I'm going to go this year, though. So it's September 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. There's also workshops on financial aid and transitioning to college and other stuff like that. So check out School Loop for more info. So we also have the IHS marching band needs support for getting money for a trip to London. So if you want to support them, there's a link in the description where you could donate to their page. I love the marching band. They're really good. I have a lot of friends in the marching band, so definitely consider supporting them in their trip to London. Last thing today, I told you this was going to be fast. We have signups for the fall play, Arsenic and Old Lace. I've never actually heard of this play, but I don't know. The school usually does a really good job at plays. The tech crew is always really good. The actors are always really good as well. So if you want to sign up for that, the link is in the description. It's a Google form, and that's it for the news today. So with all the news out of the way, let's get right into the interview. Please welcome guest number 2 on the Independence High podcast, Esteban Luneza.
Hello.
Yes, Esteban. So I don't know why you're here. You
I
didn't
don't know
really,
either.
you don't, you just wanted to be on the show, and you were the first person who actually asked. So I was like, yeah,
I got the train rolling.
that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, other than Kane, who was, well, I mean, I had to ask him though. So
That's right.
hopefully
I'm
from this point on, I
awful.
don't have to ask people because I'm lazy.
I mean, hopefully the podcast will get more popular.
Yeah,
People
dude.
want to be on here.
As of time of recording, we have like 55 views.
I know. I was surprised. I
Yeah,
think it
which is
only
more than any of my other YouTube videos. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched it last night. It's actually really, really helpful having to listen to a podcast. I was sleepy last night, closing
Indeed.
my eyes and have to use my eyes.
Yeah. And then when Kane came on, I just started like when I heard his voice in
Can
the
you say
show.
that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. Can I say?
Yes.
Oh,
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just give Chris. It'll give Chris more work, but that's fine. Also, we have our friend Andy Huang in the background. He's making a special guest appearance
Yeah,
on the show.
he's in the back.
He.
I got Andy in the back.
Yep.
A dual feature.
Double. It's a threesome, I believe it's called.
Don't you need different genders?
Well, if it's 2 guys and a girl, that's called a devil's three-way. And
I didn't know
then,
this.
and then I'm gonna ignore that question. And then that's all I remember.
Let's get back to the main topic.
Yeah, that we don't have.
I sold my soul to the Steam Academy.
Very profound.
More
title.
specifically, Mr. Ayala.
And how did such an event happen?
You're signing up for classes in 8th grade. You don't really know what you want to do, except your parents telling you, be an engineer, be a nurse, And you see that Steam Academy on the sign-up sheet, and you say, why not? Yeah. Isn't that what you did?
That is, well, I just follow all my friends. I followed you.
That's what a lot of people did.
Yeah, exactly. And then, Vince wanted to be the engineer. He's like, I want to be an engineer. And I was like,
if there's
yeah, I'll
one
fucking
thing
do it,
I've
Vince.
learned, if there's one thing I've learned from being in the Steam Academy, it's that I do not want to be an engineer.
That's exactly what I took away from my experience as well.
I mean, it's been helpful too. I learned that I want to be a computer scientist.
It taught me that
Well, the computer scientist part wasn't really part of the Steam Academy because the class technically isn't registered as a STEAM class.
Hmm. But it's
Let's
affiliated with
explain.
it.
Let's explain what STEAM is first.
Oh, right. That seems pretty
So what
important.
what does STEAM stand for?
STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, art for some reason, and mathematics.
Yeah, they added art now to like
Yeah, used to be
not
STEM.
piss anybody off.
Hmm.
I think STEM sounds cooler.
Yeah, I think it does as well. It's what I'm most familiar with.
Yeah. So let's start off with the classes. In freshman year, you take Principles of Engineering, um, and you head on to Intro to Design. Second year. For your junior year, you're taking Aerospace Engineering, and for the senior year, it's Engineering, Design, and Development.
EDD for short.
And you can technically count in AP Computer Science.
Hmm. It's affiliated with STEAM.
No, it's not taught by STEAM teachers.
Yeah. So the an academy, if you don't know, if you're at the school, it's like a program that when you're in it, you'll be put in classes more designed for the focus of that academy. Like for STEM, it puts you in more, obviously engineering focused classes. There are specific academy teachers, STEAM teachers at our school, who try to incorporate more of the electronics and STEAM stuff that you would see as an engineer into their like courses and teaching. Uh,
Yes. So
yeah,
you also get paired up with people who are in the STEAM Academy.
yeah, that's also
So
why it's so like captivating to eighth graders signing up because they're like, oh, I get to be with my friends. That's cool. And then they take it and they're like, I don't even have my friends in any of my classes and I hate it. So
that's how it usually goes down.
yeah, that's how it
Yes.
happened for me 2 years in a row. So
So basically, being in the STEAM Academy means that in your 4 years of high school, if you're still in the STEAM Academy at the end, which a lot of people aren't, and not you, yeah. So you're going through high school, same classes with your STEAM Academy students, your co-workers, I could say. So this only counts for the general education classes: math, science, English. Yeah, history, social studies. I
A
think
through
those.
G, that's yeah.
Yeah. So the community is very tight. I'd say, for lack of a better word.
Hmm. Tight. Okay. Very. We all know each other. We're very intertwined with each other.
Mm.
We all know most people in the Steam Academy. We're all are like, I have a, I like. You can probably say you have at least one class with everybody in the Steam Academy if you're in it, depending on the size of it that year.
All right, let's start with my experience through the academy. I had Mr. Johnson in principles of engineering.
The legend himself.
Nah, he wasn't necessarily a good teacher, but the class was fine. There was a lot of not necessarily paperwork, more like
Coloring.
kindergarten work,
Yeah.
coloring.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
he'd
funny.
have us do connect the dots and like find the object in the scene type of works, type of puzzles.
Very associated with engineering, of course,
Yeah.
because
When you came into principal engineering, you didn't think you'd be doing that, did you?
exactly.
I
First
thought
day on
maybe.
the job as an electrical engineer, you think you're gonna be like fixing a circuit, and they give you like a piece of paper and a pencil, and they're like connect the dots. And you're like, you know. Thank God Mr. Johnson came in with the save. He knows
at
what's up.
least at least in the second semester, they actually got down to the actual engineering.
Yeah,
Not necessarily engineering, but around that type of work.
we did welding.
Well then,
That
that
was
was
fun.
one of the most exciting things.
Yeah, that was the only significant thing I remember
I had
actually.
a few holes in clothes after that.
Oh yeah, 'cause fire.
Sparks, things. Yeah, but I can't really say anything for the new engineering teacher because Mr. Johnson retired after our year.
Indeed.
So Mr. Winterland teaches the principles of engineering freshman class, and I haven't really heard any good things about it.
I haven't heard many good things about the teacher either.
All right, second year, intro to design with Mr. Ayala. How did you think of the class? You took it, right?
I did. I was with you. I sat right
Oh,
next to you.
yeah. Oh, you sat
Uh,
next to me, huh?
yeah. It was the concepts behind all of it were really cool. 3D modeling. We used a program called Autodesk Inventor, which we used to make 3D models of stuff. That was really cool. It was really fun to learn it, but it felt like after a point, it just kept dragging on and on because it felt like we've done everything.
Yeah.
And
I'd
yeah,
say that would be the most helpful class out of all 4 years,
yeah,
other than AP Computer Science. I
yeah.
actually learned
Computer
something
science
in
is
that
probably the
class.
most useful.
I mean, I can't say anything about the new teacher now. Since my year, I took AP Computer Science my sophomore year of high school, and at that time, the teacher teaching then is the same teacher now, but she had a an assistant from Microsoft who was basically teaching the class.
Microsoft tech
And that
support.
you would expect that a Microsoft teacher would be better than some random, not necessarily random, but someone who just started learning the language, the coding language,
Hmm.
to be better at teaching. Uh, the teacher, the teacher now, she doesn't. I haven't heard anything good about her. The students in the class haven't. I don't really care, honestly. I heard a lot of people stop trying by the end of first semester.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'd recommend taking the class if you like computer science, but if you're interested in it but have never touched up on it and you're not sure about it, don't try it. The teacher's not the,
If you want to learn any coding skills but don't want the hassle of the teacher, join Game Dev Club
or computer science club
or Computer Science or Robotics Club. They do
or
stuff too.
robotics club.
Oh,
Yeah,
there are a lot of clubs involving
I've been
computer
in each
science.
of them.
Oh yeah, I've
Game
been
dev
in.
club though. I think game dev club was the best
Oh yeah, why would you say Game Dev Club was the best?
because I'm the co-president.
And that's what I thought you would say.
No, but to be real, robotics club's where it's at.
Hmm.
This year, actually, our robotics team went to national or internationals,
Oh
and they got first place in their division.
yeah, I knew our robotics team was like really good
Yeah,
because I always see the school news. They're like robotics first place something, right? But I never like really actively keep up with it. But
yeah, they put a lot of time and effort into their robots.
yeah, who
I heard
leads
they,
robotics club? The advisor?
it's Mihir now.
Oh, okay.
Mihir, I think his last name starts with a B.
Hmm.
Mr. Ayala is the advisor, and if you'd like to join that club, I'm pretty sure they're hosting tryouts in either September or October. The room is 38,
That's also the intro to design classroom
and the game dev club
and the game dev
meeting
club
room.
classroom.
If you'd like to know too, the computer science room is Miss Westlake's K33.
Oh, I didn't know she's the computer science teacher
Yeah, she's
or the
the
club.
advisor.
Oh,
She's
okay.
the advisor for the club. Yeah. So um, over the course of the year, we worked on our robots and robotics, and we went to regionals. We got second place, but our team branched off into a separate team that was going to internationals, and they spent like day night, like at least 3 days a week, like 6 hours at least each day, working on the robots. They spent a lot of time.
Yeah,
That's
so
why they got
it's a
first
lot of
place.
work, but it's definitely worth it joining.
Yeah, you can put it on college app.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's worth it.
Yeah. Anyways, let's head on to third year, Aerospace Engineering. We both took this class.
We did. We both
Um,
suffered.
so, the teacher is Mr. Winterlin.
Yes, it is.
I didn't expect to do any engineering in that class either.
Yeah, I, um,
What did we do? There was
I,
there's a lot of planes. Yeah,
mhm.
hence the aerospace part.
Yeah. It's like it's really it's hard to make the connections that he wants us to make with what he tells us and what we are supposed to know. W-
I'm pretty sure he was a previously a kindergarten teacher,
I think he
some sort
was,
of
yeah.
elementary teacher, but he was an engineer before that. Now, being good at being an engineer doesn't necessarily mean you're being good at teaching engineering.
That's true. He said his job, he was making like a 5 or 6 figure salary, and his job got ported to China. And I was like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, everybody goes through job changes in their life.
hmm
You've gone through one. You wanted to be an engineer, but now you want to be what?
I want to be a successful podcast host.
A successful podcast host. Well, I'll see to it.
Wow, all thanks to you. My dreams are finally becoming true because of you. Thank you so much.
uh, maybe I could come back on the show and say, I know the people love me. I know the boys love me.
Indeed, they do. Chris, just put booing effects over that part. I would appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so aerospace engineering. What else is part of that class?
I only really remember the ending projects that we did.
The rocket.
The rocket, that was actual hell.
I mean, the work wasn't necessarily hard. It was tedious.
hmm
But when you got to the actual rocket testing, I'd say it's pretty
It was
fun.
pretty fun. Yeah, launching the rockets off, seeing how far they would go, seeing who would fail and laugh at them.
My rocket got stuck in a tree.
I lost mine. My nose cone flew off and I never found it, so I had to get a
Did
new one.
any of yours in your class blow up?
No one's blew up, but one like fell over and then launched sideways, and then everybody like did a barrel roll to dodge it. It was really fun to
I
watch.
remember one person's rocket went up. Nobody could see it, and it came straight down in the middle of the class.
Oh,
Nobody got hit though.
that was close.
No. Fourth year is engineering design development. No. I'm taking the class right now. So I just started, and it's only been 4 days of school, so I can't really say anything about it. But from what I've heard, Miss Westlake is very strict on how you turn in your assignments.
hmm
Say you're making a blueprint, right? And a line is supposed to be 12 inches long. If you make that line 11.99 inches long, you get an F. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always heard all of the other STEAM Academy people who just graduated say that EDD is super, super difficult, super hard. Jacob Molina, all those guys, they always said it was hard, and I knew them as like the smartest people at the school. So
Yeah.
that's also another thing about the STEAM Academy. I would say that the STEAM Academy has like the smartest people in the school. On average, it's like the smartest group in the school.
They have some, they have their highs and lows.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to put it.
Let's go through the pros and cons of being in the STEAM Academy.
But yeah, I would say starting off that the biggest pro is the information that you get because you will be constantly bombarded by emails from Mr. Aiello and from all other STEAM Academy teachers of opportunities that you can sign up for.
No, that's a big pro, having all these opportunities just handed to you.
hmm
But you can't call it a pro unless you
Capitalize
you
on them,
take yeah, you capitalize on them.
and
You
which
take you take the
most people
opportunity.
don't
Most people don't.
because we're all lazy.
But I'm sure we both have.
Yeah, like my
Recently,
internship.
yeah. Where'd you work at?
I worked at a place called Achievement Engineering, which I said on the last episode. I worked there for a couple weeks. I was a lab assistant. I basically just gave my boss materials and then he did something and he was like, "All right, now get me a screwdriver." And I was like, "Okay." That's pretty much it.
So you're basically just a intern.
Exactly. But I got paid, so
Did
it doesn't matter.
I worked at IBM over the summer. Now this opportunity was through the STEAM Academy, so that's why I stayed in for such a long. Um, right. So I worked with a team of professionals on a software called Watson Studio. Now, Watson Studio is a tool for data scientists to help model, graph, and analyze their data. To put that in people words, say I have a set of numbers of like weather patterns. I'd throw that into the machine, and it showed me predictions of weather in the future.
Mm.
The team I worked with, they were pretty nice. I'd say they're a lot older than me, so I couldn't really relate to them. But some of them were fresh out of college, so SJSU. If you want a job right out of college, SJSU is one of the universities to go to. One of my coworkers, he just got out of SJSU. He's been working at IBM for a couple months, and he's already making six figures.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
It does sound nice. That's why I want to be a computer scientist,
Yeah, that's why I
not
want to
an
be a
engineer.
podcast to make a couple cents every video.
Mm. I hope you'll go somewhere in life with your podcast.
Thank you. Wow. You,
I
you couldn't have said that more condescending, but thank you.
I didn't mean for that to be so derogatory.
Wow. Jeez.
I had this sentence in mind, but it didn't come out right.
Uh-huh. I hope your passion project ends up well, unlike most other shows of a similar style.
Stop. You're making me feel bad. Is that your goal?
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
All right. What are the cons of the STEAM Academy?
The teachers.
The teachers.
That's the biggest con. Oh, I really hope the school doesn't watch this.
I really hope so too, especially with the computer science teacher.
Hmm.
I said some pretty bad
Isn't
things.
she the advisor for the game dev club?
She is the advisor for the game dev club, and I'm going to TA for her too.
Oh, oh.
So nobody keep this
Yeah,
on the down
nobody
low.
tell the school. I wanted to do school announcements, but then I realized that that it would, the school would see it and they'd be like, "What is this?" And then they'd
Would
watch it.
would they take their time to watch it though,
They
or
would.
listen?
Hmm.
They would. I don't think any teacher would.
If I ever get called to the office, the show's done. It's gonna be all over. The show suddenly stops. The school called me in, and they were like, they were gonna kill me.
Mr. Johnson was a pretty decent teacher.
He was definitely cool. He was entertaining. He was
Get to work.
get to work, clap.
He had this grading system where if you do all your assignments, you pass with an A, but if you miss one assignment, you fail the entire class.
Yeah, but you could also turn in the assignments at any time,
And,
so there were no like late
you can either get a
things.
5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. 4 being 100%, a 1 being the lowest you could get. But you can also get a 0 from not turning it in.
Hmm. I remember Mr. Johnson told us a story where like a senior who had his class freshman year came up to him and was like, "I need a pass," and then Johnson was like, "Okay," and then he gave him all the assignments that he didn't do, and then he did like one of them, and then Mr. Johnson gave him like a 0.001 on it, and then the student was like, "What the?" And then and then he just never turned in another assignment. He just gave up.
I remember he said a student came to him 2 years later after failing his class, and he said, I need to pass this class to graduate, right?
Hmm.
And he gave him the assignments that he didn't do while he was in the class. He did them, and he changed his grade to an A.
Ooh, a
I feel
comeback
bad for
story
the
for the
people.
ages.
I feel bad for the people who failed during our year because
Yeah,
Johnson's gone now.
I know. Yeah,
Can't
it's too
change your
late.
grade if the
Uh-huh.
teacher's gone. Let's talk about winter life.
Oh, he has a similar policy. But it is definitely more traditional than Johnson. Like there's an actual grading system.
He gives a lot of extra credit,
He does give millions of extra credit points.
but the thing is, he barely ever puts it in school.
Yeah, he is very bad about that. Even when you confront him and you ask him to change your grade, he'll just like straight up say no, even though you've turned in the assignment.
And it's tedious.
Hmm.
It's annoying. As a teacher though, as a teacher, he doesn't do too well of a job.
Yeah, I've definitely learned more under him than under Mr. Johnson.
For IL though, I'd say he's probably one of the most calm teachers out of the STEAM
He
Academy.
really is.
He doesn't he doesn't talk much, but when he does, he's talking about the assignment, how to do it, and it's just not mindless ranting like the other two teachers.
Hmm.
This class is probably the most useful you'll have out of the STEAM Academy, since you're actually learning something that an engineer would do out in the field.
Hmm.
For Miss Westlake, though, she's easy to talk to. It's a fun class. I mean, I can't say that I had in the class, but she does have a really strict policy. That's what I don't like.
Hmm. I've never had Miss Westlake, but I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard exactly what you just said. That she's fun to talk to, easy to talk to.
For Murrigan, though, the AP Computer Science teacher, she she um she has this method of teaching that doesn't really appeal to any of the students in the class. They'd all be sleeping and ignoring her on their phones, and it's just not that good of a learning environment.
Hmm.
How well would you rate the STEAM Academy if you had to?
Uh, I would say obviously the biggest thing holding it back is the teachers.
I
But
agree.
I think if you put that aside, it's still good. So I would probably give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm really thankful to the Academy for giving me all the opportunities I took, the internships, all the field trips to big companies. I remember in freshman year we went to Adobe.
I remember
That was my first time being on a company campus. It's a lot it's a lot more better than I expected.
that. How do you rate it?
How would I rate it? Well, I can't really talk down on it since I got some really good opportunities out of it. I'd say 7 out of 10 too.
All right.
All right, so let's try and talk about how to get out of the STEAM Academy if you're already in it. Now, Ayala doesn't really like it when you drop out of STEAM because students who are in STEAM classes provides more funding to STEAM Academy to buy more toys like the 3D printers, the laser
And we
cutters.
just got upgraded computers as well. Very good.
Yeah. Um, I think the bill on them was 2,600 times 36.
Ooh,
I don't know the exact number, but
that's
it
more
was a lot.
expensive than my computer.
Yeah. They get a lot of funding from Steam.
Yeah.
And that's why Jack the Jack.
Jack.
I'm
Oh man,
sorry.
I was wondering how long it would take you to say his name.
I, I messed up. Yeah, so Jack Aiello doesn't necessarily like students dropping out of the academy because he loses funding. And if you're in the academy but not in a class, he's still not getting funding. So he doesn't like it when students like take a year off, sort of, sort of.
Yeah, so
Uh, that's
how
why
I was kidding.
that's why it's really hard for me to transfer out of EDD,
Yeah,
especially since
they
I took.
want you to they want you to do it the year before. Like you have to know ahead of time if you want to drop the academy. So as a junior, I did it as a junior and I dropped out of it going into my senior year. I you have to get a piece of paper from I believe the office or from Aiello himself. I think it's from the office. And then you need to get it signed by your parents. You need to
I
sign
don't
it.
I don't think Ayala would have dropouts academy
Yeah,
forms
yeah. You
though.
know, I think about it. Why would he be like, if you want to drop out, just go to the pamphlets in the corner. I don't think he would do that.
I don't think that's a sign of a good academy
Yeah,
either.
exactly. If the dropout forms are right next to the door, pick one up on your way out.
They should though. They should.
It'd be so much easier.
Yeah, a lot less of a hassle.
Yeah. So you need to get your signature, your parent's signature, and the advisor or the leader of the Steam Academy signature, which in this case is Mr. Aiello. And
Now
that is
the
like,
reason why it's super hard for me to get out of EDD is because I'm transferring out my senior year while already taking the class. Plus, I've taken the internship with IBM, which requires you to take an engineering class the next year.
oh,
Now, I'm doing my best to get out, and it's going pretty well. So
okay.
he wants me to drop EDD, but in turn, I have to stay in the STEAM Academy general education classes. So for US Gov Econ, the teacher for STEAM Academy is Romo, and if I'm not in a Romo class, he won't drop me out of EDD.
Oh, I see.
That way, he keeps his funding,
Yeah, okay. Perfectly in balance, as all things should be.
as all
I said
should
that
be.
quote 2 episodes in a row now.
You really like Avengers, don't
I do. I love large purple men.
you?
That's my thing.
Is that is that something you should be telling people?
Sure, why not? If there's any large purple men out there that want to hit me up, you know, leave a comment.
Hi, I'm 17, male, and a large purple man.
Yeah,
That's my Twitter account, my Tinder account.
yeah. I would definitely. I forget if it's left or right. Whichever one is the like button. I would definitely do that. That was a nice sip right there.
Thank you. I like drinking water.
It's
I think we're going off
yeah.
topic.
I was gonna say I don't drink.
Well, technically you don't.
Yeah.
But as for the Steam Academy, I think we've gone through everything we could.
hmm Getting Ayala to sign it is a pain in the. And then he also
Yeah,
makes you sign a letter for some reason.
I don't know. He makes it really tedious to
Yeah,
drop out of the academy,
because he
so
doesn't want people leaving.
you're less likely to do it.
hmm
I talked to my counselor about it, and she says that she also wants me out of the class.
hmm
The teacher for the class wants me out of the class.
Oof.
Everybody wants me out of the class except for Mr. Ayala.
That's how you know something's off.
Mm,
And even if you
bad
do
academy.
all the stuff you're supposed to do, if you turn all the forms that you need to, you give it to the right people in the office, there's you still might not even be able to drop the academy.
Yeah, I actually had EDD taken at my schedule last year, but the Steam Academy counselor, Miss Wynn, put it back in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you want to get something done about your schedule or anything for school in general, bring your parents in.
That's the easiest way to get it done because they listen to your parents more than they listen to you.
Yeah, with the PE2 waiver. I talked to Paul Lanshoff about it, and the only reason he accepted my 5 period day PE wavered is because I had my parents there.
Oh.
So to put it into perspective, your word has no say in any argument because you're a kid.
hmm
But you bring an adult in, your parent, your guardian, whatever you have, like watching over you, a god maybe. You can sway the counselors and the administration a lot more better than you would.
hmm Also, if you're a large purple man, you could easily persuade me into doing whatever.
Yeah, these are some helpful tips on counseling.
Which is
What,
the
what else do
purpose
you
of
have?
this podcast.
What else do you have?
Um, don't talk to Montez if you if you can avoid it at all. Don't. Oh God,
Yeah,
she's gonna watch
Montez.
this.
Montez might be upset. No.
Please don't watch this. Oh no.
Basically, Montez is the head counselor of all the counselors, and she's scary even towards the other counselors.
hmm
I handed in my TA sign up sheet to my counselor, and you're supposed to hand it in to Montez because she runs all that stuff. That's what I say. Oh, I said
It's okay. We censor it.
Alright. Oof. But I turned it into my counselor, and she says, "Oh, you have to take this to Miss Montez." So she stood up, walks over to Miss Montez, and Miss Montez started yelling at her, not me.
Oof.
Yeah, she's pretty strict on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. We have a
So if
new
you want something
counselor this
done,
year.
we have a lot of new counselors this year.
Really? I only know of
Yeah,
one. I think his name was Mr. Lee.
yeah. There's another person who works in the same room as him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I should really
So
learn more about the school before I do a school-related podcast.
they don't really tell the students what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do a very good job on making students aware. They didn't really tell us what all the construction is for. Just be late to your classes.
Yeah, they told us to be late anyway.
Hmm. So if you want something done in the office, don't go to Miss Montez.
Yeah, try your best to avoid her at all costs.
Have you had any problems with NO2 or just like the administration in general?
Every year I've asked for a schedule change, and
And every
every
year,
time, every year they've said no. Or they haven't said no. Like last year, I was in physics, and I emailed Miss Montez, who is my counselor because of my last name, and she emailed me back. I was really surprised because she's never emailed me back in my entire life.
it's really unfortunate for
Yeah,
you to have that last name.
I know it really is. It's a blessing and a
I've
curse.
emailed my counselor every single summer
Hmm.
for like TA signups, counts or schedule changes, and she's never replied. Not once over the 4 years I've been here.
Yes, counselors are kind of,
I mean, she's helpful in person, but over
yeah,
email, she's never responded.
yeah. So I sent Montez an email asking if I could change physics to marine bio, and she sent me an email back, and she said, "Okay, it's done. Hope you enjoy yourself in marine bio," or something like that, right?
Was it done?
And then I pick up my schedule, and I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna be great. I don't want to do physics. I really do not like math anymore. It's just not my thing anymore." I pick up my schedule. I breathe in a breath of fresh air. I breathe out. I open my eyes, and first period I see physics. I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah, they don't really do too good of a job on the scheduling.
yeah, they really don't."
They keep complaining about how many people come into NO2 during break, lunch, after school. But if you don't want
Whose
a whole
fault?
horde of students coming into the office, then don't make so many problems on people's schedule.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a hard thing to ask, but since there's a lot of scheduling issues, especially with the limited amount of teachers, the limited amount of periods, and the classes have different periods, so you can't really take a class and then put it in the same period. Take two periods, take two classes in one period,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So that's why it's hard. But there shouldn't be as many mistakes as they have.
Like our friend Griffin last year, when he picked up his schedule for junior year, he had two U.S. history classes with Mr. Stone.
How does that happen?
It shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen.
Like, think about it. If you make an algorithm to cycle through everybody's classes, preferred period or preferred classes, and secondary lists, you should have an error check that you don't have two of the same
I
classes.
know that's.
Like, computers don't make that type of mistake unless you make that type of mistake.
Hmm.
Now, assuming that all of the schedules are hand done, since computers wouldn't make that mistake, that means someone deliberately put two US
I
history
know.
classes in somebody's schedule. And I don't think that's any better than a computer making a mistake.
Yeah, I know. It's really the better of two evils. It's. I don't know. Something's wrong.
Yeah,
Something's wrong
every
here.
every year I've had a problem with my schedule. I had
Hmm.
to go to counseling.
Yeah.
Freshman year, I had to be in math too, and it took a while for me to put in there. Sophomore year, I think sophomore year was actually. Oh no, no, no! I was in chemistry sophomore year and wanted to switch over to physics.
Oh yeah.
And since I talked to my counselor a lot, she's a lot more lenient with me about switching classes. So she switched it on the spot. My junior year, though, I think junior year was actually the only year I didn't change my schedule. I still had problems with the administration, though.
Hmm.
And this year is the hardest. Oh no, last year I had the PE2 waiver. Yeah, so I didn't take PE2 my sophomore or junior year, and I didn't want to take it senior year, so I wavered it.
I really should have wavered it.
It's helped a lot.
Yeah.
Now senior year, this is the hardest one out of all of them because getting out of EDD and the Steam Academy in general is really hard,
Mr. Aiello's the final boss.
especially since that they're running out of students in their senior year of Steam.
I wonder
There's
why.
one engineering design class, one engineering design and development class, and there's 39 students in it.
Oh yeah, that,
Now, to put that into perspective, there's only supposed to be at max 32 students.
so they only had enough for one section, basically. So
Yeah.
it
And they
makes
couldn't make a class out of 7 people.
yeah,
And if you cut 39 and a half, you're getting
2019.
what, 2019? Huh?
That's the year we're in.
No. 39 students in half would be
Well, it'd be 19.
14.5.
Wait, 39?
Oh, not 14.5, 39, my bad. I was thinking 29.
So it'd be 20 in one class and 19 in the other class.
Yeah.
That's why I said 2019.
Oh.
There we
I
go.
get it.
Quick maths.
Math.
I'm not even in a math class this year, but whatever.
I don't think I'm in BC and I'm not that good at arithmetic even.
Yeah, that's why I'm not in math anymore.
I have to since it's for my computer science major.
Oh yeah, I see.
I'm actually taking discrete math at a college right
Oh, is it like hidden?
now. It's like the dark magic of
Yeah. It's the forbidden math forms.
it's the type of math your computer does.
Okay.
Like 1 + 1 + 1
3,
-1
2.
-1. All the ones and zeros,
Yeah.
discrete stuff. There's a lot of logic based
Are you
stuff.
sure you can be revealing this information?
Oh yeah, it's discrete.
It's discreet. I'm so naive. Okay, we're at 46 minutes. Do you want to end it?
Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Final say on the Steam Academy.
Final
Don't
say,
join the Steam Academy unless you want to go to IBM.
final say, 7 out of 10. Okay.
So no,
Thank you for being the second guest
thank you
on
for
this
having
podcast.
me.
Yeah, man. No problem. Okay. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you stuck around this far, congratulations. You've watched more than the average viewer. And you also have an above average attention span, so congratulations. You're winning in 2 categories. If you want more content, follow us on all our social media, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on SoundCloud, whatever you prefer to watch us on. Hopefully we get a Spotify soon. That'd be really cool to have. And yeah, thanks for watching.
I don't know. I might just come over there and kiss him. Sleeping Beauty.